What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday, happy Friday. Probably one of the last few Fridays. Oh, man. Hold on, I'm getting, like, tangled up here with all these, like, wires. There, nope, it's your wire.
Kinky.
What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely fiance. I gotta stay with, because I'm like, goddamn. Joined
Hi, it's Lauren.
Joins with my lovely fiance.
No, I mean, by is fine. Like it.
Joined by.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I guess joined by. You know what? I don't know. I'm still working this out. Gosh. Man. This episode is going to be interesting, and I'm not sure who I'm going to offend. I'm not trying not to offend anyone with this whole episode, but it's just being in the shoes of a millennial. I just feel like this is just an interesting conversation to have. Before we get into it, though, I do want to say, guys, if you didn't catch our Tuesday episode, that probably within like the near future, or as of today, you could say, this will be like the last Friday episode up until like we find a topic that's worth putting out.
Womp, womp, womp.
And this is more so just so we can put our focus on the Tuesday episodes and just continue creating great content. Like, we've been doing this for over 70 episodes of never missing a Tuesday or Friday episode, which is crazy. And it's like we just want to continue making the hour-long episode even better. So it's just putting that focus on. Of course, I could probably see that Tuesday episode going a little longer than what it normally is, just so, and as we focus on things, we'll be able to add more to that one. And probably transition these Friday episodes into more of like interviewing other podcasters, other people, like trying to go down that route somewhere within the near future, because we want to have other conversations. This podcast is all about just talking to people and talking about our experiences and just having a conversation. So that's what we're thinking as far as this goes. So for the meantime, Friday episodes are like not going to be coming out as frequently. You'll probably see maybe one a month. If we find like a topic that we feel like is right, because the Friday episodes, if you haven't noticed, so we tackle one specific issue and we just have a conversation about it. So with that being said, we're gonna now move on to the episode. Man, so I'm gonna say this before we hop in, guys. All you baby boomers that are listening, I say this not to offend. There may be some offensive things. It's just looking from the world from a millennial point of view. Everything we're going to discuss here. And probably with the Gen Zs, they can relate. So, I want to start off with this one because I think it's going to be interesting. So, half of millennials and 75% of Gen Zers have quit jobs for mental health reasons. Isn't that crazy?
No.
Why do you say that?
Why would it be crazy?
I don't know. I feel like that. It's tough because I feel like in our parents' age, they just took that stress and kept on moving.
Well, yeah, they kept a job and just built it and just stayed in it for like 40 years. That was the standard. And I feel like nowadays, we're prioritizing different things. And yeah, I mean, mental health is definitely something that has become more public knowledge and more accepted. And yeah, I think that's okay. That if you don't see that this is a good move for you personally, why stay?
But okay, this is, I guess you could say I'm playing devil's advocate, but is that like saying like, man, my job stresses me out from time to time. Currently, I'm going through a stress full time, but it doesn't mean like it's always stressful. So like, would I be tapping out for the wrong reasons? I'm not saying that like my job is horrible and all that stuff. Like, damn, I work on a computer. Like, I don't do any physical labor. Like,
no, I mean, I think it's different because, for example, you're going through stressful stuff at work. Okay, stressful stuff's going to happen with any job. Mm-hmm. That's different. I think if you are in a toxic environment, that makes a difference, because I've been in a toxic environment before with a workplace where the amount of Debbie Downers, negative Nancys, like all that is a parent, coupled with people who do not do their job or help, or just a lot of things. Just being in a toxic environment is different than going through a stressful
funny that you say
time.
that. There was a time where like I was looking for another job, and my friend like was like, "Oh, this place he works at was hiring." So I'm like, "Okay." I apply, I get the job, and I was like, I didn't want to leave my current job. It was a part-time job at Target that you hear me talk about from time to time. So I don't want to leave Target. I just told Target like, "Hey, I'm going to work with you guys Saturdays and Sundays," and of course they're cool with that.
Right.
And this job was Monday through Friday. So for a whole, I believe it was 2 months, I worked at this job. And I worked consistently, working Monday through Friday at this job, and then working weekends at Target for 2 months, like not having a day off, which is wild because I'm never doing that in my life again. And what I discovered working at that job for those 2 months is I didn't like the environment that place was. My friend was able to work there and thrive and do his thing, and he's still there because that worked for him. But that environment was very childish, like. Your bosses weren't really. I didn't see them as a boss. They're more like a high school friend. It wasn't a good environment, and that's why like ultimately I left. I didn't like how they treated people. This is gonna sound silly, but like their bosses would like swear and like make little jokes, and it's like I don't know. I don't really find that professional if my boss is sitting here like swearing and all that stuff. Like a lot of things, like, yeah, kind of turn me off from that job.
Yeah, well, so then you do get it.
Yeah, I get that part. It's sad. It's just, it's tough. Because I do feel like we look at a job and we're like, man, I like this job, but there's stressful points, and it's like, I feel like no matter what job you go into, it's going to be stressful unless you're doing something you actually like. But even when you do something you actually like, I feel like there's still stressful points. Like I feel like in a sense you're not always going to be happy. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, that's different though.
Why do you say that?
Because yeah, there's again times that you're going to be stressed or not always happy in your job, but you have to weigh it. There are genuinely bad jobs or genuinely bad environments that you shouldn't put yourself through.
That's true. I say it to this day. Like, even if Target was paying me like what I get paid, at my current job, dog, I would still work there. Like, I wouldn't mind the physical labor because I like the people that were around there.
Yeah,
that was cool. So,
that's hard though, because someplace like Target, people are always changing. So you may like it one year, but then the next year you may hate who's working there because retail.
Yeah, but I don't know. You just adapt. So I just found this article interesting that, like, damn, like, we're not doing what our parents are doing. And it's starting to become the norm where, like, I told you this, how, like, one of my friends, they seem to just job hop a lot. And it's like, they'll stay at a job for, like, a year or whatever, and then, like, they move somewhere else. And I'm like, doesn't a job look at you like, that's not, like, I don't know if I could trust you? Like,
yeah.
What do you say to a job? Like, man, I got stressed out. I had to leave. Like, your last job. Like, I don't really understand that. So, I don't know. I feel like I get it. We're quitting jobs because we're stressed out, and this is, like, exhausting, but I don't know. I feel like it's giving yourself an excuse to be like, man, I can't take this. I'm out. Because, articles like this, or you hear it from people, they're like, hey, I could be doing something else with my time because this is so much more stressful. That's why I think, like, YouTube and, like, being an Instagram influencer and jobs like that are popping, because people feel like it's so like glamorized that, like, this is the life you should be living.
Yeah. When
it's like, nah, it's still a job. It's still stressful. Now you're your own boss, and you have to create the content. You have to make sure you're always putting out good stuff that people are going to. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Man, you're not about it. She's like, nah, I'm good, B. I'm good, B. Okay, here goes another one for you. Millennials are not the worst generation. Scientists use IQ and reading tests to debunk baby boomers' beliefs that the kids these days are dumber and disrespectful. I feel like this one you can go on and on about.
I can go off. The disrespectful part is really annoying because, okay, several things. One, the other day when we were coming out of the gym, we hold the door open for this lady who is probably of the baby boomer generation. Doesn't say thanks. Nothing. Just like keeps moving like nothing happened. And I literally said, I'm like, okay, but they say we're the disrespectful generation. If we didn't say thank you, then it would be a whole tizzy. It would be a problem. Second, no one does the freaking courtesy wave anymore. When you let someone go and it was your right of way for driving, you're supposed to wave and just be like, thanks for helping me out today. No. Do you know how many people who look like they're of that generation do not do the freaking courtesy wave? Okay? Like, these are small things. They're very simple. They are just common sense. It's what we're all taught. Do it. So, yeah. That's my my complaint with the whole disrespectful thing. Like, no, anybody can be disrespectful. It doesn't matter what generation you're from. People are people.
Well, it's like, and we go grocery shopping, every week, and the majority it's older people, and I just like every time, like I feel like every time we go and it's busy, it's always these older people that are like in the way. They don't pull their carts to the side, even though they know people have to go a certain way. They block a certain passage, and it's like, come on now, you know what you're doing. Like, you know that you block one exit, now I have to go around you and find another exit.
Yep.
Like, I'm sitting there, I'm always mindful of where I am. If someone is looking at something, a shelf right next to me, I'm like, oh, let me excuse myself because I'm in your way. Like.
And I love these people who will be like in the middle of an aisle and they'll just stand there. They're not looking at something. They'll just stand there. And so you're waiting and they're just oblivious. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, did you have something to do?
Right, like,
and
I don't know. This just,
I don't know where.
I think it's an entitlement thing. I feel like when you get older, people are like, because I'm older, I'm better, kind of mentality.
Which makes no sense.
So then I think it's an entitlement thing of, they think we're entitled because of our generation and technology and whatever they want to blame it on. But then it's like, I feel like once you get older, you just feel like, oh, I'm automatically better because I'm older. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all.
Trust me, there's terrible people who are older. And, vice versa. It's just based on who you are.
And I'll be like, Grandma, you don't even know how to use a phone. Like, stop it. Not my grandma. I'm just saying, like, in general, an older person. Like, Grandma, stop. Yeah, I never understood this. And it's like, you see this when you're driving sometimes, and like you'll be behind an old person, like they don't care. Like they're just like, I'm gonna do my own thing, or they'll cut you off or something. I feel like we dealt with
yes.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh, the way some of these people drive.
And it's like, I get
They're
it.
like, I'm the only car on the road.
Like we dealt with this the other day where we were driving. This is at driving to the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
And like this guy was like super slow.
Uh-huh.
In front of us, and it's like, dog, like there's no car in front of you for you to be driving this slow to make this turn.
Well, that's different.
No, it's not.
Well, no, I'm just saying that maybe because they're older and they're like nervous versus
dog,
like,
if that's the case,
I don't think it's necessarily an entitlement.
Oh
thing
yeah,
if
let me
they're
say,
driving slow.
You are correct, but nonetheless, I feel like if you can't flow with traffic, like I'm not saying to go fast and take that turn, but like this guy was like, it was just slower than normal.
I never showed you that meme. There's like an amazing meme. When was it?
I just gotta say, I can't wait for full self-driving cars. Like that's it.
Pickup truck behind me. Me going 10 over the speed limit. This is all I've been dealing with lately. It's a meme where like they have two what would you call these? They're big.
Oh my god, it's
Big
the two action
figures?
figures of
But they're
Superman
big, so
and
usually
Darth
action
Vader.
figures are things
You see them
small,
in
but-
Target normally.
Yeah, they're big. They're like life-size action figures. And Darth Vader's in the front, Superman's in the back. And Darth Vader says, me going 10 over the speed limit, and Superman says, pickup truck behind me. Like, it's literally, like, on his butt, like, touching Darth Vader. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going through lately. So then, if I'm behind someone who's slow, I'm just in a sandwich. It's great.
Yo, and that's funny that you say that, because normally when you look behind you, it's normally an older person that's like, I'm like, dog, what are you doing? Like, you don't teach your kids to be like, ride this person's butt. But if I jam on my brakes and have you jam on your brakes, it's a problem. Like, man, I got another one here.
Go off.
As soon as my notes wants to load, because clearly it's like, nah, we good, B.
Jeopardy theme song.
Now, this one I found to be interesting. And this one is that millennials will need to save an insane amount of their paycheck to be able to retire. At 65, I should say.
I don't think 65 is even the norm now. Because if we're living longer, they expect us to work longer.
Dog, don't tell me that.
I'm just saying, I feel like 65 is becoming not the norm anymore.
You know what's interesting?
Even for some baby boomers, just because of how finances are set up.
You know what's interesting, though? I'm starting to see a lot more. I saw this like a few times on Twitter, I think this morning or yesterday, where I'm seeing a lot more like guys and girls like post like, oh, I'm turning 30 this year and all that. And I'm like, you don't look 30. But I'm like, what does 30 look like? Like, are we like just still looking younger? Like, I don't know.
I don't get what you're saying.
Okay. I say this because you say we're living longer, or articles are saying we're living longer. We have to put more into retirement because of that and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I look at people that are like, oh man, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to be 30, but they don't look 30. And it's like, I wonder what we're gonna look like when we hit 40 or 50. Like, how are we gonna age?
I think it is I think because as we grow up, older ages to us start to look not as old as we approach them. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know. Because we're 26 now. Yeah, I thought 30 would look different when I was 17. So
yeah, I'm getting old.
Well, but that's what it is. And just like, you know, when we're 40, 50 looks different than it does right now.
Oh, damn.
Because as you get older, you gradually age. You gradually start, you know, getting crow's feet or wrinkles or age spots. You gradually get gray hairs. So like you kind of grow into it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. It's not as old as I thought it was.
That's true.
Versus, yeah, when you're like a teenager, everybody looks ancient to you.
Right, I pop into high school right now. It's like, damn, you old. I'm like, damn, I'm like only like an 8.
Oh, there was a meme on that too. It was like your face. Oh God, did I save it? I don't know if I saved it. But it was Khloe Kardashian, and she had like this stink face on, and it was like, oh, the look on your face when you realize, you're now old enough to hate the teenagers in the mall or something like that. Like, we're not that old. We're like 10 years older than a 16-year-old, but we're still at the point where it's like, ew, teenagers.
The thing is, malls are dying, so like, Fridays aren't popping like they used to be.
Okay, forget that part of the example. I'm just saying, like,
man, I kind of want to pop up at a mall on a Friday and see what happens. Like, see if people are still there like that, like kids.
Sort of. It depends on what mall.
Yeah, because the one that's close to us, like, man, that was a spot. Like, you would see everyone from the surrounding schools. Like,
but to be fair, it was always crap compared to all the other malls in the state.
But your parents aren't going to drive 30 minutes to go to another mall.
I'm just saying it was
like,
ugh.
Like, that's crazy. We used to just go to a mall for a few hours just to walk around.
Just walk, yeah.
Until it closes.
I used to do that all the time. That was my idea of dates for
I
a
wonder
while.
if I bumped into you.
Huh?
I wonder if I ever bumped into you.
Right.
So like, hey,
That was my idea of dates for a while. Because, when I was dating in high school, like, we would just go to the mall and,
That's
like,
true.
walk around and just...
Because you got the food there. You can buy stuff.
Yeah, you
hang
just wanted to
around.
go out somewhere and just hang. You just went. I did that a lot.
That's pretty cool. But back to the topic of this this whole thing
It's
here.
getting so serious.
Oh, it's getting interesting. See, it's tough about having to pay more towards your paycheck because the issue is with this.
Retirement?
To retirement. The issue is that a lot of things, as things become more automated and less jobs happen, it's like this is going to become tougher and tougher
Yep.
to do. Like your job's going to start becoming less value.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like paid out to you because man, why am I giving you this money when I can in the future have someone or have a computer do this?
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm really curious to know like how the world's going to shift within like the next 20 years because I feel like there's going to be a major change. Like imagine this, when cars can actually drive themselves and it's cheaper to get a car that drives itself than call an Uber or a taxi or whatever. Like there goes all those jobs. Like when the future comes and you don't have to buy a car anymore because you could just now call a car on your phone and it's going to be there within a minute or two or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like yeah, it's interesting. This world is going to be interesting. I'm like bit by bit mind blown. And also the next thing with this is of course we have to put more towards our paycheck to
Retirement.
Oh my god, I'm not sure why I'm messing up. I'm looking at the word paycheck on this, and that's why towards our retirement. It's because
Everyone would love more towards their paycheck.
Because don't you have to like worry about inflation and all that?
Yeah. That's the whole problem.
Man, our parents had it easy.
I mean, retirement's always been tricky, I feel like, for everybody, though.
Yeah, but
you always had to be strategic.
But I say easy as like college was easy for them to get into. I'm sure getting a degree was probably easier.
It was cheaper. Everything was cheaper.
Yeah,
everything wasn't as drastic.
I say it's easy though. I feel like it would be easier.
Well, yes, cheaper, therefore a little easier, obviously.
Yeah.
Retirement, though, has changed, too, because, like, my dad has pension versus, like, you have 401k, and our generation only knows 401k versus pension, and pensions are supposed to be a lot better. So that was something that started to change with the generations.
Yeah.
And it's different. And then, our generation, we are made up of more self-employed people than ever before, which also affects retirement because, we have to save for retirement on our own. We don't have a 401k through an employer, which is tough because we're not having someone match it. So we're not getting like that extra benefit. So on top of being self-employed and having all that fun stuff where it's difficult to pay for expenses and taxes and all that, now on top of it, we have to worry about putting extra into our retirement because eventually we'll still need it, even though we love what we're doing. On top of that, some self-employed people strive to retire early because they're self-employed. So that just means they have to hustle more and put even more towards their retirement. Like I know someone, he wants to retire by like 50 max and he's self-employed.
Good luck.
I see it happening. He's booming, but but that's a lot because every year that gets closer, you're like, wow. But yeah. So it's you have to be strategic with it. But yeah, you have to put a lot towards retirement. And that's what makes me nervous is like every year that you either don't put anything in or you put less in or whatever, then you got to make up for it somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, because you can do whatever you want, you could put 1% right now, you could put 10% next year, you could whatever, but it makes me nervous. Yeah.
I agree.
So.
And the last thing I want to tackle that goes along with all this, with you, which you're not going to want to talk about, which is investing.
The reason he's saying that is just because lately he's been like on a tangent. So it's like the Tesla thing, how he talks about Tesla every freaking day of his life. It's the same thing where like now he's just repeatedly talking about it.
Okay.
So I'm just
let me give backstory for you and everyone else listening. So back in like 2017, I was heavy into like stocks and investing and all that stuff.
Bitcoin.
At the time, what?
Bitcoin.
Well, and also stocks and everything.
Okay.
What are you talking about? I literally read books and videos at the time.
Okay, got it.
And at the time, I didn't have the money. Still had credit cards, all that stuff. Wasn't in a good position for it to happen. So here I am now, 2019, out here popping, debt free, living my life, living the dream. Not really, still broke. So now,
JK.
After like, not having to worry about paying credit cards and giving money out to credit cards, I'm able to I have a small allotment that I put aside for myself to like spend on whatever. It's called like our blow money, you could say. I'm like, I could take this and I could put it somewhere instead of it just sitting in the bank account and like have it chill for years. And I've been doing that lately. And now I was saying with Tesla, I'm like, I really want a Tesla. So why not put money in to what I believe, because I feel like Tesla's going to kill it, along with Apple, Microsoft, Google, all those places. And I'm like, why not put money in that and back those companies and also get something out of it? Like, and it's you dislike it, but I just want to like wake everyone's eyes up to what is happening right now, because currently a lot of these brokerages, which are like the platforms that you can go on to buy shares, it's zero commission. So before, like TD Ameritrade would charge you like $7. Charles Schwab would charge you, I think, $5. Like Fidelity would charge you, I think, $5 as well. Like these places would charge you $5 for each share you bought in a company. And it's like, now, since they're trying to compete with each other, they removed it to zero. So you're no longer having to pay, $100 for a piece of Microsoft and have an additional $5 or $7 for the commission fee. Like, the barrier to enter into this and put money aside that you are willing to take the risk on is there. Like Cash App, which is popular, just opened it up where they're allowing you to buy stocks on that. Like, dog.
Woof.
Dog.
Woof.
So I say this to say, as a makeup person, okay, if you feel like Ulta is popping, and you look up Ulta, you read into Ulta, you feel like, okay, I like where Ulta's headed, I see where they're going, I believe in this company.
Meh.
Why not put money behind it? Like, I believe in Tesla. I see what they're going. I'm putting money behind it. And it's like this. With certain places, you can, I think with the Cash App, you can buy fractional shares. So you may not have, currently Tesla's at like 300. You may not have the 300 and whatever to buy a full share of Tesla. But you can buy a fraction of that. And it's like bit by bit, you can continue to put money in and increase your amount in that company. And it's like it's growing over time. If you plan on having this for the long term, you can easily make money instead of it just sitting in your bank account if you're not doing anything with that 100 or 200. And I'm just trying to push that. Like before we have this idea of like investing is like, man, it's confusing, and it's like it is. But like once you like learn more about it and understand it a bit more and know how to research, you can set yourself up if you know what you're doing. And I wish I knew what I was doing back when I started working at Target, and I wish I made like certain moves if I would have known. But no one in my family knows about investing. Like no one talks about this. So I lost out on potential money if I would have known someone. So yeah, I'm pushing it because this is major, but us not being savvy to it, no one talks about it at school. What class do we have in high schools or colleges that says, yo, investing in stocks, what?
I had a class I actually want to say it might have been middle school. I don't think it was high school. I remember being young, and it was like an introductory, like I think it was probably a part of a math class, so he like incorporated it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I so remember being overwhelmed and confused by it because I was young and I was so confused. But then there was the people who like, you know, the people who then they go on to high school and they're in like the honors and AP classes, the like smarties, like they are the ones who like were all up in it and they got like extra credit and they like did all this stuff for it, like with the teacher. And that was the first introduction I had to stocks. So yeah, like I guess some, you know, if they're cool, like some schools could incorporate it.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I talk about it so much because, like, there's a lot of value people can get. And it's like, yeah, me and you grew up in households where it's like our parents weren't balling. Like, I'm trying to get to a situation where it's like I'm living comfortably and, like, having financial stability is what I'm looking for in our future. And I feel like investing is one part of that can help. So that's why I'm pushing for us to like continue, and I'm pushing other people to like stop playing the game of credit cards, because credit cards are just there to take your money away, so you're not able to do anything with it. Like I'm starting to see this a bit more, and it's just like credit cards make you think you have money that you don't really have.
Yep.
And I get it, like,
and that's a vicious cycle because interest keeps accruing and you keep trying to pay, but then you can't pay it off because you only still have so much income, and it's
And to think that, like, man, I don't have $100 or $200 or even if you had $50, like something, you could take $15 out of your paycheck every 2 weeks and have it go, like Acorns does this, or a lot of these platforms like have an automatic deposit where you can automatically deposit money in here. And it can go straight into your portfolio and just spread it towards different companies to just buy shares in. It's just good to have. Like, I don't know. I'm all about growing, and I'm just trying to help other people grow. So that's why I say millennials need to push it, because clearly, if it keeps getting pushed in your face, and if currently the barrier that was there, which was like a small fee for you to buy a share, is no longer there, it is a smart time to get in, because now you can buy and sell without it being like an extra cost for it to be a problem. Yeah. That's what I'm pushing. Pushing financial stability. That's all I got on my TED Talk for today. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, this is going to be one of the last Friday episodes within like the next while, I guess. But if you have topics that you want us to talk about specifically, feel free to shoot us an email or hit us on social media with any ideas that you want us to talk about. And hey, who knows, we may make that topic specifically a Friday episode that may go up. Just let us know. We're currently down for any ideas. Man, with that being said, guys, I want to roll out and wrap it up. I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren. See, it sounds better when you say bye.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.